I don't know about designer babies. The only movie I know that has like genetic modification is Gattaca. That's where the dude has his like legs cut and then fucking extended so his bones can grow, and he has to like record the other dude's heart rate because he has to pass like a cardio exam and shit. Pretty sure that's Gattaca. Yeah, it's a good one.
Somebody's lying about inflation, man. Like, the fix is in. Somebody is doing this shit on purpose. Like, I saw a car that I thought was a nice looking car, and it was $60,000. That used to be how much a house would cost when I was a kid. Okay? And I understand that the price of goods and services inflate, the price of materials might get higher depending on certain things, but then I got to thinking, we live in a time where it's easier to manufacture a product than it's ever been in history. It's easier to obtain the materials for those products than it's ever been in history. Yet this shit is this expensive. A new house is 700 some odd $1,000 plus just to live in a. And a lot of times these houses aren't even made from just bricks and wood. They're made of foam and chicken wire. And this shit is damn near $1,000,000. Somebody's doing this.
I went to the mall. Don't.
Let's be real. Up until recently, people have been willing to pay for all of this garbage, and people have just been pushing it further and further with seeing how much you'll actually pay for how much garbage they're willing to put together. And that's where we are. People are no longer willing to pay for the garbage that they're putting together, and I'm excited about it.
Go to the mall, but I am convinced that every store in the mall is a money laundering operation. I mean every single one of them. And before you ask, no, I don't actually know what money laundering is. Everything I know about it I learned from Breaking Bad and a Netflix documentary narrated by a British dude whispering over piano music. So no, I don't know. But explain this to me. How's the mall still open? Because there's nobody in there. I mean, the food court.
Money laundering is concealing the source of where you got the money. So cash business is going to be where it's at.
It's got some people in there. But listen, there's a store that's selling medieval dragon swords next to a place with monogrammed phone cases, and somehow everybody's making rent? Absolutely not. You walk past a candle store, a luggage store, a weird store selling massage chairs and helicopters that are like this big, and they're paying rent? They're empty. Money laundering. You got some Pakistani dude trying to sell me eye bag cream from a kiosk. Brother, come here to me. Stop it. They're funneling illegal revenue through legitimate business structures. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't even understand Kohl's Cash. I don't understand how I bought a polo shirt in 2014 and now I got $380 in store credit. That's a real money laundering deal. Don't even get me started on the art and the rug stores in there. Tell me somebody painted a blue square called Emotional Damage Number 4 and somebody's paying $145,000 for it. That's Venmo for billionaires, folks. At this point, if a business stays open longer than Spirit Halloween, it's money laundering. We're walking through the mall like, cartel? Yep, cartel, definitely cartel. The pretzel store's a crime syndicate, and you got a 19-year-old working at Sunglass Hut just trying to survive, and everybody's looking at that dude like he's laundering money for Walter White. It's a money laundering operation. Prove me wrong.
I just noticed something so dystopian lately. I do field sales, so I'm in grocery stores a lot, and there's an entire major chain of grocery stores I've noticed doing something different. They started putting mini stores inside of the store. They have their own register, it's all blockaded off. And I asked one of the employees why they're doing this, and she said that they are blockading off the items that have most likely been stolen in the past. I get it, they're a business, they're a corporation, like that's capitalism. But I just think it's so important we take a step back and think about how crazy that is, that instead of looking at the astronomical price of groceries and why people might be stealing more, the corporations are just putting in more parameters to prevent theft. It's just so classic. The corporations always come out on top.
This restaurant tried charging me a $12 food reheat fee because I asked them to reheat my steak. That is not happening. I'm sorry.
So we're here at Applebee's, and isn't this very interesting? If I want to tip 20% of my 49.49 total, it gives me a tip total of $11.30. When I do the math on my phone, it's actually $9.89. So, what do you guys think? Discrepancy? Is this happening at all the Applebee's, or just this one? Good question.
Hey AMC, just wanted to document the conditions for the movie that it was $40 for the two of us to have tickets, and then we got drinks and it was $60, and I just want to document.
Movies have not been worth the cost or the experience for like a good solid 15 years at this point. The movies themselves aren't even fucking worth it. Personal opinion.
That this is the conditions of the theater prior to the movie.
Since when has this ever been a medium fry? Just because you write the word medium on it, that don't mean it's medium. When? Almost $3 for this. For this. Because you wrote the word medium on there, it's a medium.
Okay, can someone explain to me in what world a USB drive is $200? What happened? What has happened? Like, I'm feeling like
512 gigabytes is not worth $20. My terabyte hard drive, $80 back in 2016. Not to mention the digital price tag fucking taking a look at you, seeing if you're worth it. How much can we get this Jamoke to pay?
I'm taking crazy pills. $240 for this? $125? This thing is the size of my thumbnail.
Something needs to be said about this because I'm in shock. So my daughter had a $10 gift card to Starbucks, and so we decided to stop. She got a tall caramel ribbon crunch frappuccino and a unicorn cake pop. I want you to tell me how much you think that this was. These two items, a tall, the smallest size they have of a frappuccino, and this cake pop. I'll wait. Both of these items together were $10.23. $10.23 for this. Okay, look at how, like, this is a tall. I mean, am I cheap? Like, I understand inflation. Like, I get it. I totally understand. And don't tell me, like, why are we still shopping at Starbucks? Why? Shut up. She had a gift card. Like, get off me. I cannot believe that was so expensive. Like,
I struggled for a very long time with Starbucks. They had me by my left tit. 3 drinks a day, $7 each. Was ridiculous. The only thing that made me quitting my job. 'Cause it was a crutch to help me get through the day. Now I don't need any of it.
I'm actually stunned. That wild.
Y'all want to talk about a recession indicator of this year? Let's talk about it. I'm walking in to get my prescription. What do I see? A gallon of milk for $3.99. Mind you, CVS not only owns certain insurance companies, but they also set the prices for prescriptions. And they're telling you to go get your milk here because it's probably cheaper than a grocery store. Save every penny you have, except they're actually not making pennies anymore. The Mint is discontinuing them because our value of the dollar is decreasing every single day. In the year of 2025 alone, the dollar lost 11% of its value. And we're still in a pre-war economy, mind you. So save your money, stop buying stuff. I'm mostly talking to me, but I'm also talking to you guys because you don't need that new shirt. That purchase is not going to serve you, and you're only propping up the economy a little bit more so it can crash.
Has anyone else kind of stopped applying to jobs? And not even because you don't want to work, but more so because it doesn't even feel like it leads anywhere anymore. It's like you apply, and you either never hear anything back, or the jobs that you do hear back from don't even realistically cover basic living. And at some point, it just kind of starts to feel like, what's the point of doing the same exact thing and expecting a different outcome? I don't really feel like that's us giving up. It's more so people just realizing that something isn't really working anymore.
It started costing me money to work my job. And I haven't been able to find one that wouldn't cost me money since. And so no job shall persist, and that's okay.
I've applied for over 300 jobs. Not a single callback. Nothing. So what I decided to do on Monday is, this is now Tuesday, what I decided to do yesterday was make a fake resume and change my last name to Singh, different email address, different job qualifications, but all in the same line, same everything. And I've gotten 3 emails in 24 hours. Figure that out.
What happened to the days of teens being able to find a part-time job in the summer? I have taken Jordan and Leah around like the radius of where we live. There's a whole bunch of places. There's Burlington, there's Marshall's, there's Hobby Lobby, there's the Dollar Tree, there's Domino's, there's Walmart, there's everything around us, right? Nobody. Nobody wants to hire them. And I get it, they're teens, whatever, but how do you expect for a person to get experience at a job if nobody will hire them? I feel like it was not that hard in my day to get a job at all. Like, I had a job at 15. Heck, I think I had a job at 14. I think at Subway.
Pretty sure it was around my mid-20s where they started wanting 2 to 3 years of experience for entry-level positions. And now what, they want 10 years of experience for entry-level positions? So, yeah.
I did. I threw a sandwich at somebody. It was, as an adult, I was going to say that it wasn't warranted. It was warranted. He threw a sandwich at me first. I picked up the sandwich and I threw it back at him. But that's besides the point. The point is, how are young people getting jobs these days? Give us some tips. These guys need to work. They want a car.
So the company I work for had an emergency meeting on Monday. That meeting was to inform all of us employees that we will be closing the doors at our facilities after almost 80 years in business. No fault of the company's, we were just swallowed up by the corporate monster. But I decided in that moment that I would no longer be working for anybody. Been with the company for a while, 48 years old, young family, essentially having to start over again.
My husband lost his job of 31 years 8 weeks ago. Stay with me, please. So anyways, my husband, 31 years, never written up at work, nothing. Again, he's been there forever, high up supervisor. They called him into the office one Monday and said, hey, here's your termination paperwork. We're just going to go a different route. I can only make assumptions at this point, and everybody around him, he got multiple calls from people he's worked with, everything, just shocked. They loved him there. Is that most likely they're just trying to pay someone less money. So that's the only assumption we can make. Business sense, sure, do what you want. Personal sense, it's been a shock to us. Anyways, he obviously is struggling to find something that paid as much as it did because he had been there since he was 19 years old. Of course, you know, you put equity into a business by working hard, you go up the ladder and make good money. So granted, you know, finding something that's in the 6 figures again is a struggle.
The upper middle class and the lower middle class are having a really hard time, and the middle class is disappearing little by little. People are either moving to upper class or they're getting moved over to lower class. And that's just what's happening. We're living in a time that there's really like a split economy. You see on one hand people that are having such a hard time making all of their payments, and then you see on the other hand people that are doing well, that are, you know, going and dining in restaurants all the time, that are, you know, just buying all sorts of things, and they're not even necessarily using credit card debt, right? They just have the liquid cash. But most people are really, really struggling. There is a huge unequal impact on people right now because of the cost of living, because of the different economic brackets that people are in. And unfortunately, the division is only growing at this time. Let me know your thoughts down below on some of these videos that you watch. What do you...
The divide might be growing, but at least the sentiment is finally going towards the right direction. It's going back towards the people. It's going back towards getting back to the planet. It's going back towards smaller, more local communities.